choose. Respond in kind or be kind. Hate or stand up to hate. Even if we don't know exactly what that might mean. We wonder what betterment may flow from expectations near as clouds or far away or dimming horizons. So each of us must choose self-loathing or self-respect, looking but refusing to see, anger or hate. Where there might be forgiveness, each choice is ours to make.
Thank you, son. I have a piece for tonight, and I was going to save it for later, but because of that piece, I'm just going to go ahead and throw it into the mix right now. It's a little morose, but a friend from back home in Pennsylvania, I heard you mention Pennsylvania. I'm from the Poconos, from northeastern PA, and a friend was taken off life support this morning because he's an organ donor. He had an asthmatic attack and is now gone. And so this poem is for him. It's called Indian Fort. I hope it paints a picture of growing up in the woods. A thing only appreciated by time and distance, from leashless dogs to now walls. A pile of stones that no one knows is so important. Left for a Shawnee noble, we called it the Indian Fort. For us, simply a place to play, steps up the back that led to a perch for a snowball fight. Leave your friends in an ice ball lurch. In the autumn, a possum runs across the top and jumps into a branch that was easier to reach in the spring. It's at this time that if you arrive from below, you can see through the trunks to the paddock beyond. The deer have started stripping the bark outside the fence. Deer know that the horses can't reach them. Fort's path only exposed because someone knows that it's important. If my parents had not taught history, would they have mandated it mown walkable? But they did, and this kid came to know the history of the indigenous. Mixing ancient with today, let the child travel without moving. Thank you. Do we have any names on the Zoom chat?
There's one, Susanna Camille.
Susanna. Please make sure you're off mute, and we would love if you had your camera on. Please join us. All right, why don't we move on to, is it Lynn?
Am I supposed to read?
Oh, Lynn went, my apologies, I thought we had that. So I'm going to go on to the list down here. Let's go with Valerie.
Hi everybody, so I'm Valerie. I have a poem that I wrote about like just getting new succulent plants taken care of. So I don't have any pets right now, so I thought I'd write a poem about taking care of them. So it's called My Succulents. My succulents are tough and hardy. They are desert plants. Their environment lacks water and is very hot. They hold on to water in preparation of what's to come. Be it no rain for some time or no water from their mum.
Ron.
No problem. Hi, everybody. Although the people on Zoom can't see us in the room here, we have a number of luminaries in our presence here. David Oliveira is visiting from Cambodia, so he's here. Probably many of you on Zoom know David, and also Phil Taggart's here as well. So this is a poem by Elizabeth Jennings. It's a famous poem, somewhat famous poem, called Rembrandt's Late Self-Portraits. And if you've ever seen a self-portrait by Rembrandt as he was getting old, he paints it warts and all. He doesn't hold back anything. And you could probably see some of his paintings at the Norton Simon Museum in Pasadena, and probably at the Getty as well. Anyway, this is her poem, and it's about his painting, but in a way, it's about much more than that, about aging and about life itself. You are confronted with yourself. Each year, the pouches fill. The skin is uglier. You give it all unflinchingly. You stare into yourself beyond. Your brush's care runs with self-knowledge. Here is a humility at one with craft. There is no arrogance. Pride is apart from this self-scrutiny. You make light drift the way you want. Your face is bruised and hurt, but there is still love left. Love of the art and others. To the last, experiment went on. You stared beyond your age, times. You also plucked the past and tempered it. Self-portraits understand, and old age can divest. With truthful changes, of us fear of death. Look, a new anguish. There, the bloated nose, the sadness and the joy. To paint is to breathe, and all the darknesses are dared. You chose what each must reckon with. Elizabeth Jennings.
Lynn, please. You're on Zoom. Come on.
Okay, do I just, can you?
Yep, you're ready to go. Please go
Can you
ahead.
hear me? Can you hear me okay and everything?
We sure can. You're good to go.
Okay, well, I wasn't planning on reading, but I changed my mind because this piece was written from a prompt by Jan in the writing class. And Jan, in addition to being an incredible writer, gives prompts unlike any I've ever heard before in my life. The prompt was to go into a relaxed state and write images that were dreamlike, not logically connected. That's sort of the bottom line. Before telling us that, she would read poems and do all kinds of things to get us in the mood. So I wrote it in the class and then rewrote it afterwards. It's called Dreamscape. A once comfy couch, now too low. Feathers flew out over the years. I didn't know it had feathers, and I'm horrified. A sweet duckling contributing to my comfort. Someday I will refill with foam. But now I sink down into shallowness, holding my iPhone, listening to a soulful cello play, guiding me into an altered state. I see another cello, my daughter, only 8 years old, practicing scales, loving her instrument. Now it sits near a piano in her grown-up home. She's busy. No sounds from her encased instrument. Her teacher is dead, an orphan who had two possessions in her lonely childhood, a cat and a cello. She, an esteemed teacher, a cat lover, Her favorite cat escaped, ran outside, never seen again. A new cat came, a kitten, indoor only, protected by the illusion of safety. Where is my soul dog? Died 30 years ago. The pain of his passing still raw. I search for him everywhere. No dogs look like that fur child. What's gone doesn't always come back. I watched a medium, a famous one on YouTube, shepherding dead ones. Maybe she can help me find my dog or my dead husband or my lost self. The cello sounds have stopped. My wandering mind comes back to the couch, returning to consciousness, maybe. Thank you.
Wow, am I glad that you decided to read? That was wonderful. From ducklings to couches to iPhones to cellos to your daughter to cats and dogs to the internet and mediums and back to the couch again. It's wonderful.
She does that on her own. I have nothing to do with it.
Fantastic. You're a great teacher. Dennis.
It's been a while.
It's nice to see you, Dennis.
Thank you. This poem was written by Lloyd M. Gerber. He was an attorney, businessman, but most of all, he was a rancher. And he wrote cowboy poetry. This poem describes one of the jobs that a rancher does to maintain his livestock. The name of the poem is It's a Matter of Taste. Some people say castrating calves is a matter of taste. Some do it slowly and others in haste. Some gently saw when others full, while making a steer out of a bull. Now, some have used hard rubber bands. They don't want to get blood on their hands. Some use heavy tools that crush. Some cut them off straight. They're in such a rush. Now, lambs are another matter, you know. Those little round things so slick, they slip and slide in the wool of the sheep. So you finally give up and use your teeth. That's not the easiest thing to do. So you got to remember not to chew. And if your teeth aren't all in place, they'll slip and slide right through the space. You got your nose down in the wool. You want to gag because your mouth is full. The ticks in that dusty wallow. You hold your breath because you dare not swallow. When you finally do come up for air, and you only got one instead of a pair. So back you go to rope for the other one. And when you've got two, you're finally done. Now it's true, calves shouldn't be done in haste. It's just when you do lambs, because it's a matter of taste.
Oh, that's great.
I would expect nothing less from Dennis in our first time back in person. So.
Oh my God.
Oh, that's great. Did anybody else join us that would like to read off of Zoom? We Susanna.
Try Susanna.
Can we try Susanna again? Are you there?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Fantastic. If you're still willing, we'd have your phone.
It's hard to negotiate the Zoom, but shall I read now then?
Yes, please.
Okay, I'm reading from my phone. Time escapes with such aplomb. Minutes dissolve painlessly like invisible stitches, but the results needle my harmony As the galaxy widens, our planet